Hi, guys, and welcome to the podcast called I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what this podcast is called, but I think you're gonna have a good time. I had to do something corny. But yeah, that's the title of the video. The title of the podcast. Just to give you a little bit of an introduction. My name's Levante Williams. I go by Levante on my other channel, my main channel. Check it out if you haven't. I live in Washington. I'm 26. I am a Scorpio. Any fellow Scorpios out there? Let me know. And yeah, what you might be thinking, as you see this podcast, is like, another podcast. Everybody and their mom has a podcast. Men don't need podcasts. What is a man doing here? I agree with all that because I don't need a podcast. But I do know that I have a lot of life experience in general, and I'd like to just put out anything out there that I can. If anybody is going through the same things or has experienced the same things or just is wondering about certain things, it's nothing, sometimes it's not really that serious. And I want to bridge the gap to anyone who thinks they're alone in certain circumstances. So yeah, that's why I'm here, and that's what I want to talk about. And I wanted to show you guys my shirt. This is my little Christmas shirt I got from Walmart. But yeah, I think I'm posting this on December 1st, so we're in the theme. But I'm gonna put this Snuggie on because I'm cold, and we're gonna get comfortable. How are you guys doing today? Let me know down in the comments. Go grab your drink, go grab your snack, because we're gonna get into it. Okay, the title of today's video is called Your Dreams Are Attracted to You. And I might have put something else like How to Chase Your Dreams or something like that. But yeah, we're gonna talk about dreams, and we're gonna talk about aspirations and basically what I've been thinking about that in general. So I broke it down into 8 sections, and we're gonna start with the first one, which is my life story. And this video is not about to be 3 hours long, so we're just going to tie it back to dreams. So when I was younger, when I was around 5 years old, I think, I was obsessed with Bob the Builder. I watched it all the time, but also I was Bob the Builder for Halloween, and I guess I just had it in me to have a sledgehammer and a tractor. I just wanted to be a construction worker, I think. And crazy enough, fast forward 10 plus, how old was I? 20, 19, 20, I think. So 15 years. Fast forward 15 years, I moved back here to Washington. I used to live in North Carolina. I moved back here to Washington, and I was looking for jobs, and I was looking on Indeed. I found a job to be a parking attendant at the fair, and then they wanted me to go to some office to get an orientation or something. I don't really remember, but basically the office was a temp agency, which, if you don't know what it is, it's a temporary employment agency. So it's they send you out to jobs, different kinds of jobs and whatnot. So I didn't really know what that was before, but I went there. I got set up for my fair job and all these other things, and they were like, well, we have other jobs if you'd like to start now, before the fair starts. And I was like, sure, why not? And it basically, I didn't know, but it was construction work. And the craziest thing is I never really pursued construction work. That just came to me out of nowhere, basically, after trying to pursue the fair job. And it reminded me of when I was younger. That was really my dream, to be like Bob the Builder, and I got to do that. So it was honestly insane, but I was glad that I got to live it out in a sense. And then around the same time, and this ties into watching things. Like I watched so many things that I got my dreams and aspirations from. But when I was younger, I watched Bring It On for the first time. And if you don't know what that is, it's a movie about cheerleading. Not just any cheerleading, all-star cheerleading, which is very different from sideline cheerleading at school. Like it's way more intense. There's a lot of like stunts and you're in the air. It's amazing. That's all I have to say. And I saw that and I was amazed. I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. So fast forward, I think I was like 17. So that's like 10. Wait. 17 minus 5. 12. Yeah. So that time frame, I was in, let's see, was it junior year or senior year? Senior year. I was in the classes that you take at the college, like Head Start, I think it's called. But yeah, you go to college classes, but you're still in high school. I was in one of those classes and I was in a public speaking class, and I met this girl, and shout out to Eva if you're watching this. I met this girl and she was like, we just got along. We were so funny together and like we just like laughed the whole time in that class. But I remember one day we were doing presentations and her presentation was on cheerleading, and I was like, whoa, like that's so cool, like I love cheerleading. And I was telling her that and she was like, because I was like, I always wanted to be a cheerleader, like when I was younger. She was like, you should come to my gym and just check it out. And I was like, no way, really? And she was like, yeah. So then I went there, and then long story short, I started doing all-star cheerleading. And I might have some pictures that I'll put up for you guys so you guys can see me in my uniform. But yeah, I was living my dream, and it was honestly one of my biggest dreams when I was younger, and also when I was doing it. Like I was really, really like satisfied to be finally doing it, but also like being so happy being on stage and performing. Like that was who I wanted to be, and I actually got to live it out. Like it was crazy. And then to bring it back to when I was younger, I think around like when I was in middle school or things like that, I used to watch so many different shows with my aunt and like my grandma. We would watch like different things like Judge Judy, All My Children, General Hospital. And if you don't know what these shows are, you're probably too young, which is okay because I was like very, very young. Like no kid was watching those shows. I only watched them because my aunt and my grandma watched them. So we were watching different shows like that. And one of the frequent shows that my aunt watched was Grey's Anatomy. And I started to become really like interested in the show. And like I started like watching it like here and out. I watched like different episodes when they were on TV. And then like around the time of Netflix, like I started Grey's Anatomy from season 1. And I watched it all the way up to the current season. And I was in love. Like I just watched it all the time, and it was like so emotional. But like I am an emotional person, and I love shows that make me cry, so I would always watch that. And I grew very fond for like the healthcare, like medical field, and I honestly wanted to be a nurse as like a career after like high school and things like that. So like when I was in high school, I did a lot of medical, what are those called, health science classes and things of that nature, and like medical terminology, anywhere around there. So I did a lot of those classes, and one of my teachers, who did most of the health science classes, she started basically I'm not even sure how she did it, but she wanted to make a new class for us, and it was an EMT class. And I remember being in class one day, and she was telling us about it, and she was like, she needed people to sign up for the class to actually like get it approved and things like that. So honestly, I had no idea what I was like, I have no idea what this class is about. Don't even know what this is, but I'm signing up because I love my teacher and like I'll do anything she wants. Not like that, but like it just it was important to her. So I was like, yeah, sure. And it has anything to do with medical science and like health science. So I was like, why not? And so my teacher got the class approved and it was an EMT class. And then I remember it was honestly so cool because like the layout of the class and like what we were learning was really interesting, but also it at the end of the class, like you could take the assessment or whatever or the certification. I forgot exactly what it was, but you could be an EMT right after. Like if you passed, of course, the test and everything and went through, got everything checked off, whatever. I forgot exactly what because it's been so long. But yeah, I remember one girl that was in my class. She was like really, really, really smart. Shout out to Lauren. She was like, she just like amazing, honestly. And she actually was an AMT afterwards. But also I think like her dad was like a firefighter. So it just made sense. So yeah, basically in the class, what I meant to say out of all that was in the EMT class, we got to do hospital clinicals. So we went to our local hospital and we shadowed the nurses that were in different areas of the hospital. And the area of the hospital that I had was the ICU, which is the intensive care unit. And I got to honestly live out my like Grey's Anatomy dreams. Like I was like walking around like, oh, I'm Meredith. Where's my Derek Shepherd? Like I felt so like I felt like I belonged there. And it was honestly like my dream to like walk in like hospitals. I even wore scrubs. I'll have pictures up. Like I wore scrubs and I just felt like a nurse. I felt like I was there. I felt like I was in it. And honestly, like the best part of that was I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. I didn't even know I was going to be doing hospital clinicals, but I just like wound up there. You know what I mean? Because I even like signing up for the EMT class, no idea what it was about, no idea what we were going to do, but I did it anyway. And the last like life story connection that I have for you guys is when I was younger, I loved fashion. Even when I was like growing up, like I loved like making my outfits. I would literally be in my room like a girl, like throwing clothes everywhere before a school day starts, trying to pick out an outfit. But when I was younger, I loved watching different fashion shows like Project Runway. There's like fashion competitions on like Netflix. I forgot what it was called. Next in Fashion. Love that show. I'm trying to think of other ones. Even like RuPaul's Drag Race. These shows really like I was so heavily invested in it because I wanted to be on the show. Like I wanted to be, and not even like I started like I was doing really anything like fashion wise other than picking out outfits. But I loved the idea of it and I wanted to experience that. Like I was just like, I could be on there, I could do that. Like I had no idea how to do like sew or pattern or whatever they needed to do. I had no idea what I was doing. But like I was like, I could probably do that. I have like the mind, I have the inspiration to do so. Like so that has honestly been like the long lasting dream that I've had that hasn't yet come to fruition, I believe it's called. And the whole idea of that is me, I want to become a fashion designer. Like ultimately, like at the end of the day, I've gone through so many dreams and I've gone through so many experiences and I've lived like certain dreams. But like at the end of the day, like what I want to do as like a career, like when I'm like 56, like down the road, like, and I'm still like living in like having like doing something, I want to be a fashion designer still to that day. And it hasn't necessarily been something I've been working on or like pursuing really. And it's funny because I remember anytime anybody asked me, even when I was in high school, even after high school, college, after college, when people asked me what I wanted to do, what I wanted to be, I was like, I wanted to be a fashion designer, like specifically like a New York fashion designer. Like I wanted to be in big names. I wanted to be like around like the big labels. I wanted to be like a like New York Fashion Week and things like that. But in my head, it was always more of like a hobby or like a dream. Like, oh, that's just a dream. Like, I don't know if I could actually do it, but like, you know what I mean? So like, I never really believed in myself, but so many people were like, you should do that. You should actually do that. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, even when I was going to therapy, my therapist asked me what I wanted to do. And I told her I wanted to be a fashion designer. And then she's like, are you in school? And I was like, yes, I was in school. And she was like, what are you going for? And I was like, oh, I'm going for business administration because I just want to do something where I could like sit down in an office and have a good career and make a decent amount of money. And then she was like, why don't you pursue fashion? And I was like, well, I don't know. I feel like that could be like I could work my way towards that like later in life, but I want to like settle down first. And then she was like, you should actually consider pursuing it. And I was like, I don't know. And then like later I was thinking and I was like, wait, is this a sign? Like, should I actually go and do it? But all that to say, I do have a sewing machine now. I do have a sewing machine now. I just got it because my mom asked me what I wanted for Christmas and I told her I wanted a sewing machine. I got a sewing machine and I'm going to pursue it now. Like I'm actually going to start to learn how to sew, make my own clothes, and maybe go from there because that's what I really want to do. And it's like, I know I've been wanting to do it, but I just hadn't given myself the opportunity to do so. And not even like, oh, I need to go to like these different like places and meet these people to get like inspiration or get like a apprenticeship and like start it. But like it was just the simple fact that I never even like took any opportunity or like pursued it to any extent really. But that's what I'm doing now. Like I want to do it and I know I can, even if it's to this level, to this small level of just getting a sewing machine and learning how to sew. Like I know that that's gonna push me forward to get down the road, like in the future, like when I am a fashion designer. I'm like, he finally took the chance when he was 26, but at least I did it. You know what I mean? At least I started. So that was my main point, and I didn't think I was gonna go that long into it, but for my second point, I wanted to say that dreams and plans change, and that's okay. It also makes room for new dreams and aspirations. For example, when I was younger, I was definitely sure that I wanted to be a veterinarian as a kid, but I realized I had allergies, and I couldn't really be a vet because I wouldn't be able to be like in like a vet hospital and like around a whole bunch of different animals, and I'm like sneezing and my eyes are red and like I couldn't do it, like logistically, right? But I didn't really, my heart wasn't broken because I didn't get to do that. And I think it was because when I was younger and like throughout all my life, I always had so many different pets. Like I loved animals. Like I had such a good connection to animals that I honestly like animals more than people. But also I was kind of a loner and didn't really have friends, so that kind of makes sense. But all in that to say, all in all, I got like to share my love with so many pets. Like I had cats, dogs, what else? I've had fish, I've had gerbils, I've had mice, and I even had a rabbit once. And it was like, I got to still experience like being with so many animals. Because I think even when I was younger, it was like, I didn't necessarily want to be a vet to like learn about medical and things of pets or like help pets. It was only because I really liked pets. I was like, I really like animals, so I just want to be around animals all day. And I still got to do that. And that's what I mean by like your dreams and plans change, and that's okay. because like in my head, logistically, it would be like, okay, I want to be a vet. But really, it was like all I needed to do was just have so many pets. You know what I mean? I didn't have them all at once. I had them during different times, but it was just like I still got to experience what I dreamed of in a sense, and I was very satisfied with it. Like I never regretted not pursuing being veterinarian, because even today I'm like, I don't want to do that, but like I still got to do it. It just changed in a sense. My third point is you don't have to put in hard work all the time. Sometimes things just happen. And by every example that I just told you earlier in my first point, those things really just happen. Like my title of the video, like your dreams are attracted to you. Like they pull towards you. You know what I mean? Like I didn't put in really any work to have the dreams come to reality. So then like my fourth point is what you are passionate about and eager to accomplish was put on your heart. It doesn't just go away. You constantly think about it for maybe years on end because it is important to you. And that's where I'm at right now in a sense, because like being a fashion designer has always been very important to me, but it's also something that I haven't put that much importance to. Like you know what I mean? Like I haven't given that opportunity. It's like I haven't really pursued it enough. You know what I mean? And it's also been something I've been thinking about for many years. And even when people ask me, I still say that answer, like I want to be a fashion designer. And like even the script I wrote for this episode was running through my head. As I was like going to sleep one night, and like I was in the most comfortable position. Like I was snuggled up. I was warm. I was starting to fall asleep, but I started thinking. I was like, wait, I have like this idea that I need to like put out there. And then I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then I was like, I grabbed my phone, and then I started like typing. Like I was going at it, like of this whole script. Like I wrote it in one night. And it just goes to show that like when something is so strong, like something, so when you're so passionate and eager about something, like you have to do it. You know what I mean? Like because it won't go away. Like if you just put it off and be like, oh, it's nothing, it's just a dream, like, oh, I can't do this because my parents told me that, you know, it's not going to make me enough money when I get older, or oh, I can't do this because, you know, I'm not in the right position, I don't know the right people, I don't have the right credentials, I don't have that degree that I need, I don't have the experience that I need, I don't have the money that I need, I'm not in the right place. Like all these things are holding you back from yourself. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, any little thing that you can do to pursue what you're eager about will make you feel better. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, it's just gonna be in the back of your head. Like that, like, and it doesn't go away. And like some things, yes, they go away, or some things they change. But those big things that you really, really, really want to do, or like you're really eager or passionate about, they don't go away. Like I'm just letting you know now. Like I'm 26 and I've been thinking about fashion since I was like maybe like 12 or something. Like I always found it so fulfilling and interesting. Like if I'm in it, I'm in it. Like I'm not thinking about anything else. But yeah, I'd like to go on to my fifth point, which also ties into the last point. Don't put pressure on yourself. You know, like as I say, like yes, pursue these things. Don't put pressure on yourself, because like you have to allow time to pass and circumstances to present themselves. Like you have to let things occur naturally. Because even now, like I'm 26 and I just got a sewing machine. I could have got a sewing machine when I was 12, but I never did. But it was at this point that I actually was like, oh, I'm doing this. You know what I mean? And it's like, if I got it earlier, I probably wouldn't have even it probably would have collected dust, maybe. Like I probably would have gave up on it or something. Like I feel like the timing is perfect. Like you go through certain things and certain stages of your life for a reason. You know what I mean? And there's no need to rush. Like I feel like when you rush, like good things take time, but also good things that last take time. Because like when you rush something that is not supposed to happen, it usually doesn't last. Or like you're not satisfied by the outcome of it. You know what I mean? And this ties into my sixth point, which is dreams transferred to reality are not always black and white or even completely accurate. It could lead you to realize you aren't as interested anymore, which is okay, but also means you learn something new about yourself. And it goes to say like what you dream about is not always going to be exactly like from point A to point B, like what is transferred to your reality. You know what I mean? So like, say when I was younger, I wanted to be a veterinarian. In my head, that was the dream, right? But then reality was just being around the pets. But in both circumstances, having many pets and being a veterinarian, I still got to connect the two to where I was showing my love for animals. You know what I mean? So it may look different, but it still has that aspect. You know what I mean? It still has the main point. Like what deep down do you really want to do? That's where it ties in together. And honestly, I think about the people who thought there'd be flying cars by now. Like, what was that show called? The Jetsons or something like that. They had like flying cars, but that was like back in the day. And if you think about it now, we don't have flying cars, but we do have amazing technology as simple as a touchscreen phone that will blow their mind. They'd be like, what is this? You know what I mean? And it's like, it just goes to show that the idea is still there. Like that, the idea of like, oh, like we're gonna have so many different things. And like, yes, we are gonna have so many things, but they're not gonna be the exact dream that you had. You know what I mean? But the idea is still there. Like, you wouldn't have thought of a touchscreen phone, but we have it, or like AI or things like that. It just, the list goes on. And my seventh point is there's so much inspiration you can gain from the world, and it is almost endless. And I think that also goes into the idea that like you have to just live your life. You know what I mean? Like you have to just live your life. Like things don't happen how you think they're gonna happen, but also like different stages of your life, you're gonna go through different things and like experience different things, but also different opportunities are gonna be presented to you at different times in your life, because that's how it's supposed to happen. Like if you think about it, like if everything amazing or everything like that was influential that happened in your life happened all at once, it would make no sense. You know what I mean? Like you'd go through like 10 years or something and you're like, okay, I did everything and now what? You know what I mean? And then it's like nothing is really, it doesn't really put value to anything because everything just came to you. So it's like, okay, nothing's really that special because it always comes to me, or like it's always there, or like this happens and then that happens. It's like, okay, well, like, or like I say I became a fashion designer and then like I went to New York Fashion Week and then I had like a fashion line and then I retired, and then I'd be like, but like I said that all happened within like 5 years ago or something like that, and like within the span of 5 years, I'd be bored. Like, of course, and that also goes to say that I can still do other things in the future, but like what your life is made of and like what your dreams and passion and like all that, it makes sense to spread that out within your lifespan. You know what I mean? So like, don't think everything has to happen right now, because it won't happen right now. And that's the other thing, like you can't control it. Focus on what you can control. You know what I mean? Like right now, of course, I would love to be out in New York Fashion Week or something, or like have my own brand, or even be selling merch on like TikTok or something. But like, I know that's not, I'm not there, but I am at the point where I can get a sewing machine and look up a YouTube video, look up a YouTube tutorial on how to sew. I can do that. So that's what I will do. You know what I mean? You find out what you can do in terms of your passions and your goals, and you do that. And then you work up from there within the lifespan. And that's kind of how it gets you through all the different things that are gonna happen. But you just don't know. And it's like, you can also take into account that the future has many new opportunities that you don't even know exist, or you don't even know are possible yet. Just like how we have AI right now. Say back in 2019, nobody was thinking about AI. Well, I mean, if you're like a tech nerd and you're like really enveloped in it, you probably knew it was gonna come out, but like regular people, they didn't know that was gonna happen, but it did happen. You know what I mean? So it's like, anything that you're thinking of right now that you want to do, or you're eager about, or you're passionate about, and you're like, you see like, oh, there's these walls, or there's these obstacles that are preventing me from doing so. Down the future, those obstacles might not even be obstacles. You know what I mean? There might be something else that comes in and makes that possible, or makes that an easy thing to do. You know what I mean? So like, I also say, like, don't give up. Don't give up on your future. Don't give up on your goals. Don't give up on your dreams, because there's so much time in your life. And then also on the other hand, there's not, like, you only have one life. So like, anything that you can do, that you are in control of, do it. Even if it's small, even if it's, say you want to be an artist and you have a pen and paper, or like a pencil and paper, doodle things every day. You know what I mean? Because you can do that. So like, anything that you can live out, do that. And the last point that I'd like to share with you guys is one simple affirmation. And I think you can take this with you and apply it really anywhere. And like, if you repeat this and say it, like, say every morning when you wake up, and every night before you go to bed, or you put this at the start of your journal before you put in a journal entry, I think it will really solidify everything that we spoke about today. And that affirmation is, I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me will simply find me. And I'd like to leave you there. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't already, check out my main channel, which is love.vante_, love.vante_. I'll have it linked as well. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if you have any anything you'd like to share about your dreams or aspirations in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.